What is up, everyone? I hope everybody is all good. Another video today. I want to walk you through just another banger of a client transformation. The last transformation video, case study video, it got a good response. It's good for people to see behind the scenes of how we go about things, how we do this, how we go from here to here, and what is required and what's necessary in order to get these results. Now, this is an absolute workhorse of a client. His name's Fiach. He came to me 6 months ago. This is 6 months of work, and this is what we've managed to do in that time frame. And you can just see the visual difference. It's night and day, front, side, back. It's nuts. Now, I said this to him when he first started. I said it's not like he wasn't in terrible shape. Like you look at him here and he wasn't in terrible shape. He didn't have lots of body fat. You know, he wasn't unhealthy. There's another gear that you can kick into, and there's another level of jackness that you can get to when you really commit to a diet phase and you drop off the body fat that you've got, because everybody has more body fat than they think. Now, it was exactly the same with Fiach. When we first spoke on the phone, when he first came to me, I'll show you now. He started off, his first weigh-in with me was 82 kilo, right? That was in February, so 6 months of work, and we go all the way down. So his average, his first week, he was 82 kilo on average. So let me just show you where he finished off. So when he finished his diet at 69.5. So that was 82 to 69.5. So we're talking just close to 13 kilo of body fat, which is not far off 30 pounds. When I first spoke to Fiach, I said to him, you're probably going to have to dip just into the low, just below the 70s into the high 60s, around that 70 kilo mark. And he was shocked. He didn't believe that he had that much body fat. But as people start to really creep down on the scale, it starts to become apparent where they go, oh shit, I've got more body fat to lose than I think. It happens with everybody, and Fiach is a great case of this. In order to get yourself in that shape where, again, you've got full visible abs coming through and you want to get this sort of lean and this diced, you're going to have to dig a little bit deeper than you'd initially thought up front. Now, this is the end product, of course, after 6 months of work. But let me just show you a couple of the snaps as we were going through the process, just so you can see. This is 6 months of photos, and you can see all the way back from when we first started here. Look, you'll see. So these are the first check-in photos, February. As I say, he wasn't in bad shape. A couple of weeks in, he was starting to take shape. You can see things are starting to tighten up. As I say, look, he's not in bad shape here. This is May, and a lot of people would finish a diet here. We know better. We know we can dig a little bit deeper than this. And then as he started to get into June, July, this is where things started to take shape. As I say, look at this here, and he still had another 7-8 weeks of dieting from this to get to where he was. This is what I'm talking about. There's a level of leanness that in order to get to, you're going to have to dig deeper than you think. So to go from here, there's a couple of kilo difference to get yourself all the way down here. You see, this is the difference maker. This is what people don't want to do, but if you do this, you then create a bigger wiggle room for you to now push out, and that's exactly what we've done with Fiach. We've got himself down here, and now we've got a great runway to go on our building phase with just a longer runway, and we can build even more momentum. As I say, could we have stopped the diet phase, closer to down here, July the 4th? We could have done, but we know better. Like, we know that we can get it. We can create a longer runway. The difference in this, where he was here to here, in terms of leanness and runway that we create, it's night and day. So, just wanted to show you a couple of the snaps there, because it's nice to see the photos and the visuals. Now, in terms of Fiach's process, now, I'll start off with his food. So, funny enough with Fiach, we started off on around 1900 calories. I didn't have to alter macros, calories at all. We didn't change anything. His calories and everything stayed static from when he started in February to right at the end of August. We didn't have to change anything. One of the big reasons for that is because Fiac's expenditure outside the gym, he's an absolute workhorse in terms of steps. He's nailing close to 20k steps on most days. That's just how his lifestyle works, how his job works. So he's on his feet quite a lot. So his expenditure was it was sky high from the get-go. So food didn't need to drop. It stayed constant throughout. Now in terms of his setup and the way we went about it, we kept protein at the start, just around 1 gram per pound of body weight. I didn't drop that as we were getting leaner again. Higher that I can keep protein within reason. It's going to be there for muscle retention. It's the most satiating macronutrient as well. So as high as I can keep that, I wanted to do that. We still had carbs in a good spot at 180 grams. He was biasing the majority of those in his pre-workout meal as well. So we had the fuel for the session, and then his fats were staying minimum 50 gram. And we just stuck with that throughout the whole process. And again, we stuck with it for long enough, and that's how you get that lean. Now that was how we approached the diet side of things. So his diet was just locked in. His steps and expenditure, he was close to 20,000 every day. Now in terms of training, now this is interesting with Fiac as well, quite an individual situation. So we started off on a 4-day upper lower split. Now Fiac came to me, he didn't really have much gym experience. He didn't really know as much how to train, what way to program. He wanted just the expert guidance right off the rip. So we come in with a lower upper split. Now the reason that I wanted to choose this for Fiac, and for a lot of people as well up front, with an upper lower split you've got frequent bouts of stimulus. You're hitting every muscle group twice a week. Not just that, with a frequency of hitting every muscle group twice a week, you're also hitting similar movement patterns twice a week. You've got more frequent exposure, more practice at these movements. As an example, a press or a squat pattern. If you can squat as an example, whether that be a barbell squat or a pendulum squat, you're going through knee flexion and a squat pattern twice a week. You're going to get better if you do something more frequently, to a point of course. Training and lifting weights is a skill. So Fiac, he sharpened his skill acquisition with all of these lifts. He come on pretty rapidly. We started off 4-day split, and he got better and better and better week to week, because he was just getting frequent exposure. He was learning how to train hard, how to strain, how to push sets. And we just started from week 1, and we soared up like this. Now, the big change that occurred with Fiac in terms of training, it was around the end of July. Now, Fiac likes to play Gaelic football. Again, he's from Ireland, so he plays Gaelic football. So he came to me and said, Francis, I'm going to be training for Gaelic football. I'm going to be having a match every Saturday. What can we do? Do I need to change the split? Now, I knew that his legs were going to take a beating. If he's going to be playing full matches of Gaelic football, we needed to do something to change the split. So I just said, look, let's drop off one of the leg sessions. Let's just hit legs in the gym once a week, and then that keeps you fresh for the game of a Saturday, where his legs were going to get smoked. So you can see here, if we trained upper day 1, we had legs on Tuesday. So from Saturday, he still had 4 days recovery before he was going to have his game on Saturday, in terms of legs getting hit again. And then after his game on Saturday, he had Sunday and Monday to recover before he came in for his leg session. So we made and prioritised recovery around that leg session, so he could still perform as best as he could on the leg session, but then he also wasn't smoked going into his Gaelic football match on the Saturday, which was a big priority for him. So we didn't change anything with upper body training. That didn't have to change. We changed that with his leg training, and again, we closed out the last 2 months of the cut with just one leg session, and then his Gaelic football of the match of a Saturday, and everything was fine. We had no recovery issues, no injuries, no tweaks. We were perfect, but all because we made that tweak. And then we closed out the diet phase for the last 7-8 weeks on that sort of approach. So right now, what's next for Fiac? Because we've created that runway of getting to the level of leanness that we wanted, we're going to go now on a nice building phase. From this phase, we can slowly push our body weight up, getting stronger, progressing lifts in the gym with the extra calories coming in. But again, I just wanted to show you a snapshot of the process. And just a caveat and end the video, Fiac was an absolute workhorse. He done everything I asked. He never slipped up. He was just on point. Just absolutely. There's just some people who are just ruthless. They just execute. and he was one of those. To go from here to here, as I say, this is a top shelf transformation. I'll put this in the top shelf. I've worked with a lot of people over the years of doing this, and his work ethic was second to none, and that is a big thing, or goes a long way with getting results like this. So, yeah, just wanted to share the process of another successful client. If anybody is interested in online coaching and working with me, again, drop a comment down below. You can message me over on X or Instagram, and then we can book a call and we can chat and go over things. But yeah, if you want results, you know where to come. Right, drop a like down below. Make sure you're subscribed. Keep an eye out for future training vlogs, all other styles of videos coming over the next couple of weeks. Alright, but I'll speak to you in the next one. Have a good one.